What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so today we're going to be trying out America Chavez versus Infinity Thanos. So this is the team that I used right here when fighting Infinity Thanos. She did need some help, of course, in the DPS department, so that's why we have Coulson there. And then also Coulson, of course, gives you a little bit of decreased damage received from supervillain types, so we do have that as well. So we reduce damage by 15%, which is really nice. And then we have Wiccan in there for the team up bonus. We get some crit rate and physical attack, which is nice. And then we're going to be using America Chavez's own leadership, which is at 24% all attack with 6% dodge. So I do like that leadership actually quite a bit. Let's go ahead and take a look at her so you can see what she looked like while I was fighting Infinity Thanos. She's actually pretty bare bones. I haven't done too much for her. I did get her gears to 20 though, so that is something. We have ignore defense on this other one over here, and I will be probably tier 2ing her pretty soon. I'm just building up the last 150 bios I need to tier 2 her naturally. For her skills, we have all of them still at level 1, so I haven't done anything with their skills. Her Isolate set, we have Power the Angry Hulk, and we actually do not have a custom gear on her because I'm still kind of undecided on what I want to do with her custom gear slot, and I'm kind of leaning now more towards invincibility or a heal, that recovery one, mainly because of how the fight went with Infinity Thanos. Kind of showed off some of the flaws in her skills. But anyway, that's what she looks like. We can take a look. We do have max skill cooldown on her and 36% ignore defense. And then the last thing we can probably show here is going to be my cards. So here are the cards that I have equipped right now. You go ahead and pause it if you want to take a look at all the stats. But now we're going to go ahead and jump into the clip where I fought Infinity Thanos. So let's go ahead and load that up. Okay, so here we have the battle against Infinity Thanos. As you can see, I am going to be using some damage strikers here because she does need the help in the DPS department, and that is also the main reason we have Coulson there as well. Of course, he helps to mitigate a little bit of the damage. So I found the best way to use America Chavez here, at least against Thanos in particular, is to use the third skill to get that invulnerability, and then you use the fourth skill, let it play out pretty much until she just starts flying into the air, and then you hop right into the fifth skill to get that long iframe. But the only problem that I did find using, well, not using that rotation, but her skills in general, is that while fighting Thanos, that fifth skill, while she teleports in and out right there, as you can see flying around him from star to star, is actually gives her brief seconds that she's outside of an iframe, so she can actually get hit. And I don't know if it happened in this clip here, but sometimes when he uses his lasers, you can actually get hit while using your fifth skill. It only hits you for a very small amount of damage because it only clips you for that, like, I don't know, a couple of milliseconds that she's out of the iframe, because it just keeps flashing iframe, non-iframe, iframe, non-iframe, that kind of thing. But in general, this skill rotation seems to be very good against world bosses because it keeps her protected pretty much the whole time. So yeah, that's pretty much the skill rotation that I stick to. If you get into a little bit of trouble with the cooldown on these skills, the first skill is a good one to use as well because it does have an iframe on it, but it is kind of an intermittent iframe. So it goes to like a full iframe where she jumps down into the ground, and then when she pops up, she's out of iframe, and then she jumps down again into the ground for another iframe section of the skill. Alright, so here we're getting to the halfway point of the battle. Her damage is decent using Coulson and the strikers here, but then again, like I said, she is at tier 1 and she does not have an obelisk equipped, so her damage is going to be lower than after you've kind of built her up a little bit more. But I did find that it is extremely difficult for her to deal with Thanos' meteors. So I did do this battle quite a few times before I was able to beat it, and I always got to pretty much this point right here every single time
but then I would consistently die to the meteors right there. And that is mainly because, as I mentioned earlier, the intermittent iframes that she has on the 5th skill. So even though you're using that 5th skill and you're kind of just teleporting all around him, you just go right into his meteor anyway, and he doesn't care. And if you don't switch like immediately, then she dies very fast from the meteors. And if you time it extremely well, since the first skill does have a pretty quick iframe on it, you can knock him out of his meteor, but you have to be right on the ball there. Like, you have to almost press it before he starts opening the portal to make the meteor, so you have to hit it like almost immediately for it to actually cancel him out of the meteor skill, which is quite annoying. So this was by far the most difficult part of the battle for her. Getting up to this point was quite easy, but like I said, these meteors are extremely difficult for her to deal with, so you pretty much have to switch characters. You have to rely on switching whenever you see him. Like, if you're not able to cancel him out of his meteor, you need to be tapping that switch immediately if you want her to survive. Other than that, the fight went pretty smooth, so definitely if you have invincibility obelisk or even some heal on her, that would make it just a lot easier for her to survive, because if you had the invincibility while he's doing the meteors, then that would solve that problem. But if you don't have any additional protection, you pretty much just need to switch, because just using her skills alone isn't enough, and she cannot outrun the meteors. She can, I mean, if you're lucky, but she's not very good at it. As you can see right there, I thought I could outrun them, but no, so we had to have Wiccan finish it off. But that was pretty much a solo clear for her. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this clear of Infinity Thanos, and I'll catch you in the next one.